Thank you, Maria, and welcome viewers to Voice of America's Washington studios. I'm Raza Naqvi.
Punjab government has prosecuted the head of Jamaat-ud-Dawa, but he was acquitted by the court.
The United Nations labeled Jamaat-ud-Dawa a front for the Lashkar-e-Taiba in 2008. How do you take Mr. Dastagir's comments, particularly with relation to Jamaat-ud-Dawa and Lashkar-e-Taiba?
I don't think anybody here expects that there's going to be confrontation with this organization.
But there's also the issue of them being banned, right? Jamaat-ud-Dawa has been banned by the United Nations, been banned by the Pakistan government, but we also see them openly holding rallies, openly collecting funds. You know, their flags are often waving in public squares. How do you address that issue of them being able to operate with what looks like relative impunity?
That's what I'm saying, that this framework of law needs to be revised.
What was allocated under Kerry Lugar-Berman was $1.5 billion a year. That was the figure we'd heard repeatedly, and it's something that we still hear. Why has that $1.5 billion not been spent per year, and why haven't we not seen that on the ground?
The other money is in projects that are underway.
Why has the United States aid program not been able to develop the goodwill that many here in the U.S. Congress have said it needs to?
We have been operating, frankly, in a very difficult political climate.
Do you think that there is a hope that we can de-link Al-Qaeda from these militant organizations, which, as you say, might be part of the Afghan political landscape, so we have to deal with them? But is there any way of extracting Al-Qaeda from these militants?
And they would be willing to do that. The Taliban regime was willing to do that.
Right. I just want to get Mr. Cohen to respond to that. You know, that doesn't seem to be the consensus here in the U.S. Now, the argument against drones is that, well, simply, regardless of whether or not how many people are killed or what the numbers are, you're antagonizing an entire population. We know drone strikes are vastly unpopular in Pakistan, as on this show. How do you respond to that argument? Dennis Blair-Master's argument that this is angering Pakistan?
I would take that argument much more seriously if I saw the Pakistani government taking real serious steps to cut off other forms, other sources of the radicalization of its population.
The Bureau of Investigative Journalism, according to their statistics, around 27% are civilian casualties. According to the New America Foundation, around 18% civilian casualties. According to the New York Times, quoting U.S. officials, civilian casualties are about 2.5%. Why is there so much discrepancy between these figures? How does one assess the efficiency or effectiveness of these things if we simply don't know about what's going on?
Well, you know, I've argued that we have to have transparency.
I want to thank our guests over here for joining us, and our guests in Lahore and Islamabad for joining us as well. Maria, I'm going to give it back to you to wrap up the show, but from here in Washington, it is good night for now.